Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at the Sd Kfz 234-3 as part of the Hot Wheels series. This obviously comes after the 234/1 that we've covered in the last episode, and well, that went pretty well. You know, like, it's a Puma that can do nearly 50 miles an hour if you push it hard enough, and you can just get into a really good position. But obviously we have to adapt our playstyle from that because, well, this is not a turreted vehicle, this is a... well, they call it a tank destroyer. It's more of like a very portable self-propelled gun. But anyway, as per usual, in the description below, the usual links. There'll be Discord, the TikTok, and the Patreon page, should you wish to support the channel any further. And of course, special shout out to my Patreon members, Boss, Nas, and Ramage, for supporting the channel via Patreon. So the Sd Kfz 234-3 was from one of these summer events, and this is actually the skin that you could have gotten off of the event then. And, well, I call this the strawberry skin, because it looks like a strawberry in some places, which I'm no expert on camouflage, but that kind of seems counterintuitive. Maybe if you're, like, fighting at, like, early mornings and stuff like that. But then you've got the yellow, which makes it stick out a bit more. But no, I call it the strawberry camouflage. But, you know, maybe Gaijin, when they were making this for a Beatles fan, they were too busy listening to the Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever and all that jazz. For those that don't know, I was raised with the Beatles pretty much, so I kind of know about the Beatles and stuff like that. But anyway, less about my music knowledge and all that jazz. Let's get into the vehicle quickly. So obviously, we already know the chassis, so I won't be repeating myself in that regard. The main thing that we obviously need to look at is the gun itself, the 75mm K51 L24. This is a really effective gun, and obviously at 2.0, it does start to, you know, lose a little bit of effectiveness with the armor-piercing round. But obviously it does have a couple of other shells which help with that. Obviously we do get access to the HLGR38C round, which is the 115mm pen at flat angles at any range. And obviously this is the same gun pretty much as a Panzer IV-E. So we do get a really good gun. And obviously the AP, whilst it isn't amazing in terms of penetration, it is still very good for the lower tier, well, for the lower tiered vehicles. And obviously, you know, if we get a down tier, which would be very nice, because, well, Joe still has a camouflage left to finish on this vehicle, so that gives you an idea on that. I never bothered unlocking it because I thought, well, if I spam this thing too much, I'm going to get called a seal clubber. And, well, this vehicle's not as good as what it used to be, because obviously the meta of this sort of BR has changed a little bit. But honestly, I'm looking forward to just seeing how this vehicle does in this day and age. And to be honest, not much has changed about it. It's mainly the meta and stuff like that that has, but hopefully we get to at least do something with it. So, let's get into a match and see how we do. And welcome to the match. I know it's quite early into starting, but we're already up to 35 miles an hour and we're on the Conquest map, which we had in the Celeria Sahariana video. And, well, luckily we have a vehicle for the job that can, well, pretty much be a mountain goat if we ask it to, so we will have no problems getting into my broken spot, because yeah, they've tried to nerf my spots, but luckily I have vehicles which can, you know, get up there no problem. We're in a max up tier as well, so that's something to bear in mind. And one change that this vehicle's had since I last drove it is the machine gun that you can now see mounted to the right side of the cannon. That's going to be pretty useful in some situations, but obviously, you know, it is something to bear in mind. Obviously, normally, we wouldn't be able to, you know, do this in a normal vehicle, but this thing don't care, because, well, it's a Puma. So you can just drive up here all you like. And, well, there we go. We're now in position. Alright, let's get some firing angles. And let's get firing. A little bit off, that's fine. Overpressure him. We now have your range. A little bit too high there. Nice, he's down. Let's even get a better position, hold on. Because the teammate behind me in the tank destroyer won't be able to get up here, I don't think. I think it was a Marder. I can already hear a plane, which is a bad sign. I couldn't get an angle on that, what it was. What plane is that? I didn't get a good visual on it, but hopefully it doesn't bother us. That's a lag 3, okay. Alright, let's move up a little bit. There's an LVT, we can overpressure that, hold on. Nice, he's down. Back up. There's another Su-76 there, it looks like. Tiny bit too hard, or low, sorry. Okay, no, it was not a, it was not an Su-76. I somehow curved that shot over and hit the Stridswagen that was apparently behind it. I can hear an anti-aircraft gun, I know that much. Alright, well, we'll just wait here. I mean, we don't have to rush. There's a 72 Kfz down there. And there's also a BT, but I don't have a clear line of sight on the BT. Where's that truck? There's the truck. We just about make out his flatbed. And of course, we're dead to a plane. I bet you he's got like 1 kill in his tank and then he's just jumped straight into a plane. Yeah, he hasn't even got a kill. He's just jumped straight into a fighter plane without getting a kill. That's his first kill. Are we really giving people that, Gaijin? Come on. Like, he hadn't even done anything. I'd understand if he had like 2 kills and then jumped in his lag, but no. He hasn't even done that. He's got no kills. I was his first. Oh, Gaijin. Fix your shit. I need to be careful now because, well, he's going to be hunting my ass. Okay, that's an I-16. That's fine. 72k guys just died. I think I took out the one that, obviously, before we died. I think I did. I did. I did take him out. That's good. Go on, piss off. Frickin' iShack. Like I said, I've got no problem with people like earning their 480 SP for a plane, but when you don't even get any kills, hold on. Vision is based off of movement, folks. Remember that. But like when you don't even get any kills and the game just gives you a free plane, like that's not fair on people who actually have open top vehicles. You know, let him earn it. You know. And there's the Marder that tried to get up here in time. Spoiler alert, mate, you're too slow. Alright, so we need to move this corpse because, well, we can't exactly do that and just leave it there. So let's move this corpse. Luckily we've got the horsepower to move it, so it's fine. And, well, this is a diesel engine, so we have a bit more torque. That'll do it. That should do it. We have plenty of room now. But no, I don't agree with him getting a plane for basically nothing. Like, you know, open top vehicles already suffer hard as it is. So I don't think it's fair on the players to actually do that. Okay, we missed that. That's fine. I've got to play it careful now because obviously they now know that a Puma can get up here. Okay. Can I get the gun up there? I can, but I can't get a good firing line. I can maybe, if I do a bit of skillful driving here. There. Machine gunner. Nice, he's down. Alright. There's a truck. Let's go for that. Okay, a little bit too low. I roughly know its range. I think it's about 600. That's a lot of planes up. I'm playing a very dangerous game sitting here. I might need to just take cover. Because I can't rush the cap point whilst there's planes about. There's a T-28. I need to move. I'm going to park up over here. And just hope I don't get seen. So we've got anti-airs. They're just not doing anything. So, you know, I can't really be firing my gun too much because I get, you know, strafed. I think they might know I'm still here potentially. Let me do some skillful driving. Obviously, I can't really engage planes. That's the one thing to remember. I can't really engage planes. Because, well, that machine gun's useful, but, well... I'm just going to randomly fire. That's a Sal 40 that I just clipped there. tell by the kill feed. With a marker and everything. Nice, he's down. That was a lucky shot. And he's down. Okay. I got a bad feeling I'm about to get bombed. He doesn't see us. I was really hoping that would have connected then. If he comes for us, that's fine. Because he's at low altitude, he's got low engine power. But no, I think my team is just done. Like, we're getting strafed by planes. And bombed by planes. Like, there's not a lot we can do here. There's a Yak 2 up as well. If that thing sees us, we are boned. I can hear a plane. It's probably coming right for me. Okay, we're good for now. We're just gonna have to wait. I can't bring up the gun any higher. Not even the machine gun will go that high. Because I was hoping to take out that Goshawk. So yeah, I think, for my own safety, I'm just gonna wait over this side. Because if I get spotted, I'm as good as dead. Look how many planes they have. I think there's actually a spot I can go to. So hold on, I'm going to do some skillful reversing here. And luckily, because we're going downhill, we'll be a bit faster. This is a better spot around about here. Because even though the planes might have a visual on us, we can use the rocks as cover. Wait. That's a P400. In fact, no, I'm going to trust the old spot better. I have a bit more vertical cover. And I'm not going to spin the vehicle around because that takes longer. I'm just going to drive it in reverse. I mean, we're on 8 kills at the very least, but, well, this team is dead. I mean, when you give a guy who got no kills a plane who can kill open tops, and a good chunk of my team was open top vehicles, not much we can do about it. And if I rush that cat, I'm a dead man. Let's see if we can get one more kill. Seen anti-air firing. Yeah, it's multiple actually, hold on. That's him. I'll take that. Oh, I'm stuck. Thank goodness the game ended. I was kind of stuck there. I'd have had to have driven forward. But hey, 10 kills, we will take that. Even though we did get a death, which, well, that's unfortunate. But that's what happens when you give a guy with no kills, no caps, no nothing, a plane, and he can just strafe people to death. Like, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's, again, a reasoning as to why CAS and just, you know, airplane spawns in general need fixing. Because, like, they did do a good change. You know, like with the, if it's got ordnance on it, you know, it costs this amount. And obviously if it doesn't, it has this amount. You know, like, I agree with that. But I'm sorry, giving a guy who literally had nothing a lag 3, which can kill a good chunk of my team, and he just happened to know where I was, that's not really what, you know, that's not really balanced in terms of tank players. Because, you know, like, I was in a good position. Like, fair enough, if it was a plane with a bomb and he actually earned it, fair enough. I'm not mad about it, you know, that's just the way Ground Forces is. But the fact that, you know, I worked my way to that position and a guy who had literally nothing can just come along and strafe me with a plane that he didn't even earn, you know, just kind of rubs salt in the wound. But I hope that gives away as to why this vehicle is just so good. And once you get it into a good position, it's just so strong. And next up is a vehicle that I even know that Tasty Loaf of Bread in the comments will be very excited to see, because he asked me about this vehicle in the Discord and he was like, is it any good as an AA or as a TD? And I said, it's more better as a TD, but it used to be better many years ago, but it can still do some work as an AA if you know how to use it. This is the Sd Kfz 6.2. I'm kind of looking forward to driving this one because, well, this is a very fun vehicle and, well, I'm kind of hoping that this works out. But anyway, I'm going to leave you to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the Sd Kfz 234/3, and I'll see you next time.